Welcome to our channel, AR Chauhan. Now if you're here for, let's say, a lighthearted romp through the whimsical world of competitive badminton, you've come to the wrong place. Today we're diving into a serious and sobering topic. What would happen if a nuclear war broke out between Pakistan and India? And look, we get it, nobody to think about this. It's like staring directly into the abyss while the abyss scrolls through TikTok on its phone. But the reality is, these two countries possess nuclear arsenals, and tensions? Oh, they exist. The potential impacts of a conflict are devastating, not just for the region, which by the way, is home to a quarter of the world's population, but for the entire planet. So, buckle up dear viewers, as we explore the catastrophic consequences of what would undoubtedly be one of the worst-case scenarios in human history. Let's just say, it makes that time you accidentally microwaved your lunch for 5 minutes straight look like a delightful picnic. Let's not sugarcoat this, alright? The immediate aftermath of a nuclear detonation in this region would be, well, imagine if you took every disaster movie ever made, threw them in a blender with a dash of existential dread, and hit pulse. We're talking millions, potentially tens of millions dead within the first 24 hours. Cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Karachi, Lahore gone, reduced to rubble and ash. And for those who somehow managed to survive the initial blasts, let's just say congratulations would be a tad inappropriate. They'd be left to navigate a hellscape of radiation poisoning, collapsing infrastructure, and a complete breakdown of society. Imagine trying to order takeout in that situation. Spoiler alert, your Grubhub driver is not coming. The healthcare systems, already strained in the best of times, would be completely overwhelmed. Hospitals, if they were even still standing, would be overflowing with casualties. And let's not forget the psychological trauma inflicted on survivors, the invisible scars etched onto the souls of those forced to witness such unimaginable horrors. Now you might be thinking, okay, that's awful. Truly the stuff of nightmares, but at least it's contained to the region, right? Oh dear viewer, you sweet, naive summer child. You see, when nuclear weapons detonate, they don't just vaporize everything in a 5-mile radius and call it a day. No, they inject massive amounts of soot and debris into the stratosphere. We're talking millions of tons of crap blocking out the sun, like a global-scale game of how much cardboard can you tape over the windows before your roommate notices. This, my friends, is what the scientists call nuclear winter. Catchy, isn't it? Temperatures plummet, dropping by 2 to 5 degrees Celsius. To put that in perspective, that's like your refrigerator deciding to go on a European vacation inside your actual house. Rainfall patterns go haywire, crops wither and die. And remember those lovely images of bustling cities? Yeah, picture them now shrouded in a perpetual twilight, a chilling reminder of the hubris of man. Remember those apocalyptic movies where everyone's fighting over a can of beans? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because that's starting to feel less like fiction and more like a grocery list for the near future. With a nuclear winter casting a long, cold shadow over the planet, global food production would go kaput faster than you can say supply chain disruption. We're talking agricultural yields plummeting, with staple crops like maize and wheat taking a nosedive of up to 40%. Now imagine for a second that you're one of the billions of people who rely on those crops for, basic sustenance. Suddenly, that half-eaten bag of chips in the back of your pantry doesn't seem so insignificant, does it? Food prices would skyrocket, making caviar look like a bargain bin steal. Supermarket shelves, once overflowing with enough processed snacks to last a lifetime, would be stripped bare. And let's not forget about the geopolitical ramifications of a world suddenly plunged into a fight for dwindling resources. Spoiler alert, it ain't pretty. Look, we're not economists, but even we can tell you that a nuclear war is about as good for the global economy as, say, swapping out your morning coffee for a tall glass of battery acid. With trade routes disrupted, agricultural production in shambles and entire cities reduced to radioactive rubble, the world would be facing an economic crisis of unprecedented scale. Remember the 2008 financial meltdown? Yeah, that was basically the trailer. This is the full-blown 4-hour-long epic disaster movie, complete with shaky cam and a Hans Zimmer score. Stock markets would crash harder than a teenager trying to parallel park for the first time. Currencies would become as worthless as a screen door on a submarine, and those investment opportunities your brother-in-law keeps emailing you about? Yeah, you can officially hit mark as spam. The worst hit? Developing nations, already struggling with poverty and inequality. They'd be pushed further to the brink, facing famine, disease, and social unrest. So, assuming humanity doesn't collectively decide to pack it in and live out the rest of our days as mole people, eventually the long, arduous process of recovery would begin. But let's be clear, this wouldn't be like bouncing back from a particularly nasty flu. We're talking decades, maybe even centuries, to undo the damage inflicted on our planet and ourselves. The climatic effects of nuclear winter, the messed up rainfall, the wonky temperatures could linger for a generation or more, impacting ecosystems, agriculture, and basically everything else we rely on for, not dying. And let's not forget about the radioactive fallout contaminating water supplies, soil, and pretty much anything else it comes into contact with. The world we rebuild would be vastly different from the one we knew before. It would be a world shaped by the ghosts of conflict, a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of our actions. So there you have it, a glimpse into the horrifying yet entirely preventable future that awaits us if a nuclear war were to erupt between India and Pakistan. The stakes, as they say, are incredibly high. The fate of millions, if not billions, hangs in the balance. Now we know what you're thinking. John, this is bleak, even for you. Is there any hope? And the answer is yes. The international community must prioritize diplomacy, conflict resolution, and, dare we say it, common sense. Because let's be honest, folks, blowing each other up is so last century. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my channel AR Chauhan for more insightful content.